Joining us now, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, who is wearing a T-shirt in honor of the fantastic Charlie Kirk, who received the Medal of Freedom today. Secretary Rollins, great to see you, my friend. I listen to these Democrats, and their mantra is paying for the many in pursuit of power for their few.
Well, it's so true, Dagan. It's so great to be on with you. And thank you for recognizing, all day today I've worn this shirt. It says, this is the turning point. And even walking through the airport, it is stunning that the flight attendants, the pilots, the people I was on the planes with today, it just is remarkable. It would have been Charlie's 32nd birthday, recognizing him in the Rose Garden just about an hour ago, right behind me. And then directly related to our conversation right now, I mean, just listening to Hakeem Jeffries, I love that. I don't know who asked that question, but wait a minute, isn't Mike Johnson just right there? And Hakeem's like, oh, I don't know how to answer that, because he can't answer it. And you think about Charlie and what he stood for, and the righteousness of dialogue and understanding people's viewpoints and working for a better America. And you see this now. We see the Democrats, they have laid their cards on the table, and that is our way or no way. Our side's going to win. We don't care what happens to the most vulnerable among us. We don't care if people are kicked off of SNAP. We don't care. We want to fund health care for illegals. And then that great litany that Mike Johnson just read through, I was listening on my earpiece, is so telling of what they stand for. We need to get this government open. Our side is not asking for anything other than just to keep the government running. And that's what's important for Americans to understand. It is the Democrats that are the obstructionists, that are basically governed by their most radical members of, I don't even know who Chuck Schumer's answering to at this point. Is it AOC? I don't know. But we got to get the government open. We've got to do what's best for the American people. And it's time for the Democrats to step up.
Well, and that's the thing, Secretary Rollins. They're not putting the American people first. And if you look at the stock market or sort of the workings of the country, everything is chugging along regardless of the shutdown. But those people who aren't going to get paychecks are going to be the ones who feel it most. And the Democrats, I mean, they've become a party that has not only abandoned their own, they've abandoned everybody. They've drawn a line in the sand, fighting a fight, a ridiculous fight, by the way. The president and the GOP leaders have already made it clear they're not going to be held hostage by this.
That's right. And it really is. It isn't just the paychecks of the great people at USDA or others that are working on behalf of America. But it's also, for example, in my world, it's payments to farmers. They are waiting for their checks from disaster payments from the hurricanes or the flooding or the droughts from 2024 and 2023. They're waiting for those to be distributed now, and they're frozen in a bank account. Again, the SNAP program, the food stamps, the WIC program, women, infant and children, who in about 2 weeks, those funds are completely dry. The president rediverted some tariff money to allow us to go through the end of the month. These are USDA administered programs. The challenge to real Americans and what this means, especially to those with the least among us, it really tells you who we are as Republicans in this White House and this president, who we are fighting for versus who they are fighting for, which is their radical left socialist bosses. And it's disgusting. It really is the worst of Washington and the worst among us. And this darkness that has descended on the Democrat and the far left of their party is just remarkable and unprecedented.
And Secretary, there are food banks being set up at military bases across the country because our service members are not getting paid.
Well, that's right, and we're doing everything we can. Secretary Hegseth, I know the president just yesterday or the day before, when he was solving world peace, he's also talking about how we can get our service members paid. So I think that there was some diversion he was able to do just for the service members. But I was on a call this morning with the head of our OMB, Russ Vogt, who's really the captain of the ship at this point. And, we're doing everything we can to make sure law enforcement service members are paid, to make sure the WIC program can continue as long as humanly possible. But we're running out. We're getting to the end of this, and there's not going to be a thing we can do as the Democrats continue to keep this government shut down. It is absolutely inexcusable, and the American people should be furious with these Democrat leaders.
Like I said, pain for the many in exchange for power for the few. The
Amen.
Democrats should be on a bumper sticker for every Republican in the country. Secretary Brooke Rollins, great to see you.